Chapter. Hey everybody, it's Ryer Appeldoorn here, and welcome again to the Turtle Room, where we have models stacked up in the corner, and turtles stacked up in the corner, and beasties on the shelf directly beneath me. Things are going well. It's hot out there today. It's a beautiful day here in Western Michigan, and I'm loving it. So, as some of you may know, I spent quite a long time working at a Boy Scout camp. 7 to 10 years, something like that. I lost count. And this is my first year not working there because, well, things just didn't work out. It happens. And so I've been finding a job, or trying to. You know, I've done some temp work, done some other things, and all of it's just terrible. Now, of course, that is the nature of a lot of work, especially the work of someone who hasn't quite found a career yet. I'm just kind of doing it and trying to keep as positive as an attitude as possible. However, none of these jobs really pay well, and it's making model making rather expensive. And I began to think. For a long time, I have been opposed to selling any of my models. This is partially because, well, I, didn't like the idea of, taking something that I do for fun and selling it. Part of me thinks, well, my models really aren't that good. If I'm going to be selling a product, I want to be selling something that is a really high quality. And part of it is also, I would have no idea how to even dip my toes into that world. After all, I started off making models as a hobby. I made it for fun, but pretty quickly, being that I'm an artist, they became part of my artistic portfolio. And that was my first dilemma, and that's kind of how I answered my first dilemma. I get almost as much joy from making a painting or a drawing, and, Lord knows I love selling those. You can email me. Just saying. And really, if I'm going to be building models in such a numerous amount and in such a way, I would like to be able to at least make enough money to be able to continue that hobby, as I'm sure many of you understand. The second thing is, I'm not the world's best model maker. And I cut corners here and there, and most of that's because I'm making props for movies or for photographs, so they don't need to be perfect. I mean, if I took the time, I could make a very nice model, but I'm still not amazing at it. But I've seen a lot of people who allegedly sell their models for quite a bit of money, and not to be boastful, no professional, I'm no perfectionist when it comes to these things, but, I've put enough hours in over the past few years to get pretty good at what I'm doing. I don't know if they're worth selling. I don't know if they're worth anything. And then finally, my last dilemma. I have no idea how to sell these things. I mean, they take quite a bit of money to make. Depending on if I'm making just a regular model or if I'm making a beastie, a car model's going to cost me anything between $50 and $125 in material cost, as I'm sure you know, and that doesn't even begin to factor in what my time is worth, and how much do I tack on to make sure that I can afford to do the next project, and does that allow for me to both make projects of my own accord and projects that I can then sell to make more profit? It's a very confusing thing, and therefore I am asking you guys, the community. I realize that a majority probably don't sell their models. This is a hobby, and I, up to the point, really didn't want to sell my models either. But to me, it makes the most logical sense that to fund the hobby, I might as well make the hobby make money for itself, right? That's what it seems like I should be doing. So any of you out there who have sold their models and have done it in the past, what were your rates? What was your experience with it? Does anybody have any feedback of how they did that? Did you go through Etsy? Did you have your own website? Did you go through a Facebook page? How did you do it? What was your marketing plan? Or were you just selling to friends? Were you doing custom models? Were you marketing your own creative endeavors? I'm just curious, really, and it might not work out. I might just have to take up an extra shift here and there and try and, make some extra cash so I can play with my models. But I would like to give this a shot. I don't know. I'd love to hear your feedback. For those of you who don't want to give me feedback on that, either out of naivete or because you think it's a dumb idea, I don't blame you if you think that way. I'm also interested in trying out some new weathering techniques. I've been using Com Art airbrush acrylics for a majority of the time, and I've been trying to find a good weathering paint kit, a set of washes, enamels, acrylics, things like that. Something that's a complete package where I'll be able to do a very nice weathering job with the paints that are included in the thing. I don't want to have to buy, you know, 3 from this, 3 from that, 3 from that. So if anybody knows of any really nice weathering kits that are available out there, I don't know, through Ammo Paints or if Tamiya does something, I really don't know. I've done a little bit of digging, but not enough, so I'm just asking. So if you don't want to talk about selling your models down in the comment section, please, I'd love to hear your feedback about the weathering, or you can comment on both. I don't care. I love talking to you guys, and that's why I make these videos of me waving my hands around and gabbing at the camera. So yeah, that's it. That's what we're working on. All kinds of stuff in the progress, or all kinds of stuff is still going on in the works here. The new studio shop space is woefully behind schedule in its construction. I don't know what we paid them for, but you know what? Pretty soon we're going to be up in the new artist loft, the new slammer, and we're going to be making all kinds of cool stuff. And I hope to be checking with you guys soon. Until then, guys, thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for spending time here and hanging out with me in the turtle room. And I can't wait to hear your comments. Hope everyone's doing well. Bye.